Hello beautiful beings, welcome back to our better version where we talk about personal finances and wholesome living. Today we are going to talk about 6 clear signs that you are doing well financially, even if you don't feel rich yet. I know that sometimes we are so focused on the things that we want to achieve, especially our financial goals and all the financial needs that we have in our lives, that we don't actually take the time to notice how far we have come and also take time to celebrate the milestones that we are hitting as we are going along our financial journeys. So today I want us to look at something positive, something that can encourage us to keep going, and it's 6 clear signs that you are actually doing well financially. Be sure to stick around for sign number 6, which is the last one. It's one of the most important signs, yet people tend to skip and ignore it. The first sign that you are doing well financially is that you are living below your means. When you are living below your means, you are spending less than you earn. So whatever amount it is that you are earning, when you remove your expenses that you have to pay on a monthly basis, you still have some money left. So you are not utilizing your entire income for the month or for the 2 weeks, depending on how often you get paid, to spend on your expenses. For example, let's say your salary is 10,000, but when you have removed all your expenses such as your rent, your utilities, your transport, and all the other needs, groceries and all the other needs that you have, then all those expenses are only coming up to 6,200. When you remove now the 6,200 from your 10,000, then you still have a 3,800 which is left that is not spent. And that is a good sign. That shows that you are actually winning with your money and you are doing well. Living below your means is a good sign because it gives you a breathing room. When you still have some money that is left after you have removed your expenses, you have breathing room to cater for other needs or other areas in your life. That can be your savings for short term, like your emergency fund. It can be savings for the long term, and it can be investments also for the short, medium, and long term. Living below your means is also showing you that you are not living paycheck to paycheck. When your money comes in, immediately it disappears, and then you are now waiting for the new paycheck to come in. So you are actually in a stable position whereby you are left over with money that you can channel towards your savings and investments and have breathing room to cater for emergencies instead of you living paycheck to paycheck. Living below your means is one of the most basic but yet important and a fundamental part of financial stability and financial independence. Once you are able to earn and you are not utilizing all your money into living expenses, then you have that power to be able to have a cushion for your emergencies and also to build your long-term cushions for your wealth building and your retirement savings. So if this is something that you are doing and you are living below your means, then it means you are doing well financially and you can pat yourself on the back. The second sign that you are doing well financially is that you have an emergency fund. Now, this is ideally living costs or living expenses of 3 to 6 months or more if you are able to do more. With your emergency fund, you are able now to cover any emergencies that come up, of which yourself have to define what those emergencies are that qualify for you to use your emergency fund. If we go back to our example of earning 10,000 per month, if you have at least 18,600 saved up in a high yield savings account as a 3 months emergency fund, then you are doing well financially. You are on the right track in terms of your financial independence and your financial security. You are not put in a situation where you cannot handle your emergencies. That emergency fund is your peace of mind. That is your peace of mind right there, and it gives you that sense of security because you know if an emergency hits you, you are able to utilize money from that fund to solve that financial problem. Having an emergency fund is a good sign because that means you do not need to take out debt when you have an emergency. You also do not need to go around borrowing money from your friends and from your family so that you can cover emergencies. And we know that borrowing money can really cause you problems and put a strain on your relationships, because now every time you call your friend and you start telling them about your problems, they start already thinking that you want to borrow money. So having that emergency fund allows you to have relationships that are not feeling like you are trying to leech off from your friends or from your family members. The third sign that you are doing financially well is that you are paying off your debt in a strategic way. When you are paying off your debt, here we are looking at the fact that you are not drowning in debt. We are also looking at the fact that you have a plan on how you are paying off your debt. You have a method that you are following. For example, you could be using the debt snowball method to pay off your debts, or you can be using the avalanche method to pay off your debts. And you have targets that of what you want to do in terms of your debt, by how much you want to reduce your debt by what period. And you are even going the extra mile of not only paying in the minimum, but you are paying in extra in those debts, especially your high interest debt, so that you are able to finish paying them off faster. So basically, when you are doing this, it shows that you have a plan and you are executing that plan so that you can get yourself out of debt and be in a financial position where your focus is more on your growth, growing your investments and growing your savings and building your wealth. Paying off your debt is a good sign, especially when you have a plan and a strategy, because it shows discipline. It's also a good sign because you are looking at reducing your debt as fast as possible, especially with the extra payments into your high interest debt, so that you can pay it off faster and you do not now have a lot of interest that is compounding against you. So you are able to retain money in your pocket and grow your savings and your investments and have compound interest working for you instead of working against you. The fourth sign that you are doing well financially is that you are saving and investing on a regular basis. We cannot state enough the importance of being able to save and invest on a regular basis. Whether you do it twice a month, whether you do it once every month or every second month, whichever consistency that you are able to build and you are prioritizing putting money towards your savings and investments, then that means you are doing well financially. Even if you are only putting away a small amount, whether it's a $200 or whether it's a $500, if you put that aside either in a tax-free savings account or you put that into a brokerage account like your discretionary investments where you are buying shares or you are buying ETFs, then you are doing well financially. It shows that you have a long-term vision of where you want to be in terms of your money, and you are slowly, as little as possible, building up your savings and investments. And as we know, with time, then your money will grow because then you are benefiting from the power of compound interest. Being able to save and invest on a regular basis is a good sign because, like I said, it shows that you have a long-term vision in terms of your money, and you are not only thinking of today, but you are thinking of 10, 15, 20, 30 years from now. And you want to make sure that you are not only building wealth for you to enjoy a good life, but you are also looking at how you will fund your lifestyle when you are retired. We don't want to be retired people who are broke and who are worried about their living expenses. This is also a good sign because then you are allowing your money to do the work. You are putting your money to work. You are giving every dollar that you are having to savings and investment, so you are giving every dollar a job, and your money is able to work for you and not the other way around. And with time and with compound interest, over time, your money will grow and you'll be able to see the impact that your actions and your habits have built. The first sign that you are doing well financially is that you are sleeping well at at night. You have no idea how many people are not able to sleep well at night because they are thinking of money. So if you are not constantly stressed and thinking about money and not being able to sleep well because you are worried about money, then that means you are doing well financially. And this is something that one sometimes overlooks, but it's really a sign that you have prioritized your personal finances and you are taking the necessary steps and you are building the necessary habits and necessary systems for you to be able to grow your money, to get to financial stability, and eventually financial freedom. So being able to take care of your bills without worry and being able to put away money for emergencies without worry and still be able to sleep at night, even though you have financial goals where maybe you want to buy a vehicle or you want to buy a home or you want to fund your studies or whatever financial goals that you have, being able to pay for your expenses, cover your emergencies, and still be able to save and invest without you being stressed on a daily basis and not being able to sleep, that is really a good sign that you are doing well. You are further along than most people who are really struggling every day. They are worried about money. And being able to sleep soundly at night is a good sign, because it shows that your emotions are not controlled by the status of your finances. You are actually at a good place, that you are not constantly in worry. You are not constantly thinking of how are you going to put food on the table or how are you going to pay for an expense. The sixth sign, which is the last one, that shows you that you are doing well financially is knowing your numbers. And a lot of people overlook or ignore this, and it's one of the most important signs that you are doing well financially. Knowing your numbers means, especially for the large numbers, not the daily knowing that I spent $18 on coffee or I had breakfast for $200, but really your big numbers in terms of your annual numbers. Do you know how much you are spending every year? What your expenses are for the year? Do you know what your income is for the whole year? Do you know how much you are spending on giving to others, like your gifts for the birthdays, for weddings, helping family members here and there? Do you know on an annual basis how much of your income goes towards giving? Do you know how much it costs you to run your household on a yearly basis? How much money, what percentage of your income goes to that? Do you know how much it costs for you to raise and look after your children? Do you know how much it costs per child? Do you know how much it costs overall for all your kids? Maybe you have 2 or 3 or 4. And most importantly, do you know your net worth? Do you know how much you are worth? When you look at the things that you own versus the things that you owe, do you have a positive difference? Do you have something left, which is what your net worth is? And do you know that number? Because a lot of times people are not looking at these things. Knowing these numbers can help you a lot. It can actually even open your eyes, because there are a lot of people, especially also on entertainment. They have no idea how much money per year they are spending on entertainment. When you are hosting those braais for your friends at your house, when you are chilling at Pharaoh's, when you are going on these hikes or on these camping trips, all these things, they cost you money. But most of the time, people do not know in 6 months how much money has gone to these things. In 12 months, how much money has gone to these things. So knowing your numbers, be it linked to your income, linked to your different expenses, and also how much you are saving and investing on an annual basis, and knowing your net worth is very important. And if you know these numbers, you are really one of the people who are doing well financially. Apart from financial awareness, knowing your numbers allows you to set your financial goals and to revise your financial goals as you are going. And it also helps you to track how far you are and how well you are doing if you know exactly how your numbers are looking like in terms of your income, including your side hustles, your main job, your consulting work, all of that, income from your business, and any other gifts that you were given, and looking at your overall how much you are spending on the different categories of your budget or of your life, and really also looking at what are you worth. Each year you need to have an understanding, or even every 6 months you need to have an understanding of what am I worth and where do I want to go. Then you can easily track, this is how further I am from my goals in terms of the different goals that you have for your money. Now that we have looked at the 6 signs, which of these 6 signs describes you? Which of these things do you have in place? Are you able to sleep well at night? Do you have an emergency fund? Do you know your numbers? Are you able to save and invest on a regular basis? Which of these best describe your current financial status? Let me know in the comments. Share with the others so that they can also know what is happening with your finances and which of these signs best describes you. We do not need to be millionaires in order for us to have financial health in terms of our personal finances. We just need to make sure that, number one, we are acquiring information and knowledge and educating ourselves, while at the same time we are using that information and that education to build better financial habits for ourselves. And we are also using that to build systems of how we are managing our finances and really tracking and automating our personal finances so that we are able to reach the goals that we have set for ourselves as we are on our journeys to financial freedom. Financial security and financial independence is very important, and it's not something that can happen overnight, but with time, with the right information, with the right habits, with the right systems and the right resources, then we'll be in a better position to reach there. And if this video gave you a confidence boost in terms of how well you are doing with your finances, be sure to share it with your friends or with your family or with your colleague so that they can also see how are they doing. Maybe they are also doing so well and they didn't know. So this will be a good reminder for them that yes, they are on the right track and they are doing well and they should keep going. So that is all for this video, and I will see you on the next one.